Welcome to the UMO Coaches Show. I'm Michael Robertson for the Trojan Sports Network, joined here today by UMO women's basketball head coach Wendy Leee. And Coach, you come off of a victory on the road to open the Conference Carolinas season against Emmanuel. What did you see from your team down there south in Georgia?
Well, at this phase in the year, we're seeing a lot. It's a lot that we like and a lot we don't like. So, but I will say that I did like our effort. I felt like we've discussed it previously that we've got a pretty tough schedule, in my opinion, to open the season with some very good teams. And Emmanuel is always a very solid, tough team to play, but especially on the road. And that's all we've had is road games. So I felt like our mental state as to how we approach the game, understanding that we got to be focused and we got to get in here and get our work done when we had our shooting practice, and we got to keep our minds on task and not just see it as an overnight trip or whatever. And with young players, you wonder about that sometimes. How will they take the overnight trip and things like that? And I thought our mental approach to the game and our focus and preparation was very good, and our effort, our overall effort during the game, I felt was there. And then the things you see that you'd like to see maybe a little more improvement with would be we lost a little bit of execution from where we've really started putting in offense to now, and it's a little bit early to be seeing that slippage. So we've got to tighten it back up and get our execution and screening action better. But and we weren't really hitting shots with, especially particular players weren't really hot. So I feel like that's something you can't fix right in the middle of a game, and you got to kind of play through it. And I thought that we did a pretty good job with that, and that the players that we called on to come, in and really contribute did a very good job. So with that being said, Darius Simmons obviously stood out statistically, and previous games she hasn't been one of our players that we've heavily relied on for a lot of offensive contribution, but knowing she can. She just hasn't really had that game, in the first 4 games, but she did against Emmanuel, unfortunately. And very fortunately, she did. So she had 24 points, but she did it in different ways, and I feel like the lineup that was with her out there really focused on defense, and then the offense came. So she and Tamara Harris both were rotating properly, getting some good steals, getting some transition layups, and then it got them more relaxed, and then they were able to hit some of the little step-up jumpers and things. So I just think they kind of got it right with getting the defense first, and then the offense came. And so, there's a lot I could probably elaborate on that I wanted to see happen better, but we've got another game tomorrow, so that one we've tried to learn from and prepare these past few days in practice and get our heads right for the next one. So they come pretty quickly now, and I think we're getting in the routine with all the new players, 6 freshmen, that we want to work really hard on what we do, but then we're going to incorporate the next opponent, and that routine's starting to be established. So I think they're settling into how this goes.
I know you talked about just now the next game coming up tomorrow on the road at Pfeiffer. As you continue Conference Carolinas play. What are you expecting from Pfeiffer in that contest tomorrow evening?
I think we're going to see a lot of different things. Pfeiffer is well coached, and they have some veteran players. I think in their starting lineup they have 3 seniors. So I feel like the poise and composure of their upperclassmen is going to be evident, and I feel like obviously because they are so well coached, they're going to throw a lot of things out there. They're going to be very good on offense. They run multiple things that are hard to guard, and with the players that are also kind of hard to guard too. So I think we've got to defend, we've got to communicate, and we've got to really be locked in to player strengths and what we're guarding, and talk about the different things that are happening within their offense and communicate. So I just think they have very good shooters, and they run their offense well, and they throw multiple defenses out there. So just being focused again on the road and locked into the game plan is going to be critical.
In the preseason, I know you mentioned some concerns you possibly had with some of the players stepping up and filling some of the holes, both offensively, scoring-wise, and rebounding through 4 games. How do you feel that this team has stepped up and filled some of those roles and some of those holes?
Well, I feel like, we still need more rebounding. I think a few players have really established themselves as consistent rebounders, but we need 1 or 2 more players just to really be that person that we know we're going to get 5 to 8 rebounds from, and that's not really happening. I feel like that's the perimeter player. We got to find a perimeter player that will be able to get us those boards, and we've played the first 4 games without sophomore Jada Bacchus, who is a rebounder, and when we can get her back and things like that are uncertain, but I know we've got a player like that over there on the sidelines, but that's not helping what we need on the floor, and I don't know that we fully have grasped that, somebody's got to do it. Our post players alone aren't enough to finish big games and win big games, so, fortunately we've been able to win a couple, and then we've lost a couple, but I feel like in every single game, rebounding has been a factor. Some games we've been better than our opponent, and then the games that we weren't, honestly, were the games we lost. So I think that's still, a major area. We've got to find a couple more players, and, I hope it's a team effort, but definitely a couple more players have to establish themselves individually as dominant rebounders, and it's not something that happens overnight because it's a mentality, and it's a thing you do with a lot of effort and instincts, and so we are trying to really push it every day in practice to create more habits with our players, and we want somebody to just buy in and see it as their responsibility, and then maybe that will start to bloom. And then, like you said, filling other holes defensively. I think the team defense probably has improved from when we talked to now, and I think everybody is understanding that their individual defense is affecting the overall defense on the floor, and if they can't do their job, it's forcing rotations, and then as a domino effect, we might miss a block out because we had to rotate and help somebody that didn't take care of their job. So it's just, I think, starting to make more sense to everybody defensively, and I hope we continue to improve in that area as well.
Well, thank you for your time, Coach, and good luck tomorrow evening
Thank you.
against Pfeiffer.
Thank you.
This has been another episode of the UMO Coaches Show.